hope you're doing good today. I've got another of these little stories to read to you today. This one's called The Fairies' Christmas Party. Let's see. Emma's toys all lived in a big wooden cupboard in the playroom. There were 4 dolls, a teddy bear, a big panda, an elephant, 2 bunnies, a jack-in-the-box, a postman, and a dog. There was a box of wooden bricks, a doll's house, a tea set, and a lovely musical box that Emma had been given for her birthday. These are all her toys. Of all her toys, Emma loved the musical box best. When she turned the handle, it played 6 different tunes that you could dance to. Emma played it every single day, and her toys played it at night. At least Braces the teddy bear played it, because he was the toughest and strongest and could go on turning the handle for a long time while the toys danced around the playroom. One cold, frosty night, a pixie flew into the window and looked in. She saw the toys dancing while Braces turned the handle on the music box. She thought it was a lovely sight, so she jumped down from the windowsill and took hold of the panda and danced around the playroom with him. After that, she often came to the playroom to listen to the musical box and join in the dancing. It was great fun. "I shan't be coming tomorrow night," she told them one evening. "It's Christmas Eve and the Fairy Queen is holding a dance at the bottom of the garden. We are going to have a band from Dreamland to play for us, a wonderful band that can play dance music better than any other band in the world." That's what it's going to be like. Oh, wow. "We'll peep out the window and see if we can hear it," promised Braces. So on Christmas Eve all the toys leaned out of the window to hear the band, but although they listened and listened, they couldn't hear a thing. They were wondering what could have happened when the little pixie came flying up to the window, quite out of breath. "I wonder what's happened." "Oh dear," she said, "what do you think has happened? Why, the Dreamland band had made a mistake. They thought the Queen's dance was tomorrow instead of tonight, and they haven't come." "What are you going to do?" asked the teddy bear. "Have all the guests arrived?" "Yes, all of them," said the pixie, "and there is no music for them to dance to." "Dreadful," agreed the toys, shaking their heads. "But what could be done?" Then the teddy had a marvellous idea. "I say," he cried out, "what about the musical box? You could dance to that, and I could come and turn the handle for you." "Oh, what a good idea!" cried the pixie, delighted. "The Queen will be so pleased, and all the guests will think the musical box is wonderful." What a good idea! "Well, we'll have to ask Emma first if she will lend it to us," said Braces to the pixie. "You see, the musical box belongs to her and she is very fond of it. I'm sure it isn't right to borrow things belonging to other people unless you ask them first. Shall I go and ask her?" "Let's all go," said the big panda. So the toys crept along the darkened hallway, up the stairs and into the bedroom where Emma lay fast asleep, dreaming of Christmas. Braces hopped up onto the bed and shook her gently. She awoke with a surprise and sat up, rubbing her eyes. "Don't be frightened," said Braces softly. "It's only your toys, Emma, and a little pixie. We've come to ask you something. Could we borrow your musical box? It's just for tonight. The Fairy Queen is giving a Christmas dance and the band hasn't come." "Good gracious! Have all you toys come to life?" asked Emma in surprise. Shh, don't wake the grown-ups, said Braces. Yes, we toys always come to life at night, Emma. But what about your beautiful musical box? Please, may we borrow it, just for tonight? Of course, said Emma. I would be delighted to lend it for a fairy dance, but who will turn the handle? I will, said Braces. I always turn the handle because my arms are strong and they don't get tired. What fun, said Emma. Oh, look at this dear little pixie. Are you real? Of course I am, said the pixie, laughing. Thank you so much for lending us the musical box. We promise to take great care of it. They ran out of the bedroom, leaving Emma to fall asleep again, this time dreaming of pixies and teddy bears who could walk and talk. Who will carry the musical box? Asked Panda when they were all back in the playroom. It is very heavy. Toys thought about it for a moment, and then Braces decided to ask the strong wooden horse if he could manage to carry it in his cart down to the end of the garden. He said he could, so off they all went out through the playroom window. It's going to be a lovely dance. It was cold out in the garden, and a fluffy layer of snow covered the grass. The light from the silvery moon and 1,000 twinkling stars lit their way and made the garden look so beautiful that the toys thought they had reached fairyland. Very soon they arrived at the place where the dance was supposed to be, under the shelter of a big fir tree. The Fairy Queen was there, looking very disappointed, and all the guests wondering what to do. They were most surprised to see the toys, but the little pixie lost no time in explaining why they had come. There's the Fairy Queen looking a little bit sad. The Queen was delighted to hear about the musical box. Then Braces and the big panda lifted it out of the cart, and Braces started to turn the handle. They did it! The tinkling music began, and soon all the fairy folk were dancing merrily round and round beneath the branches of the old tree. All the toys danced too, and the panda even danced with the Fairy Queen herself. At midnight, everyone sat down and had a delicious feast. There were fairy cakes, cups of tasty nectar, and soft sweets made from honey. The toys wanted the party to go on forever. They'd never had such a good time in all their lives. Here's the feast. When the first light of dawn tinged the sky, the fairies said it was time for them to leave. The toys knew that they too should go back to the playroom, for it would soon be daylight. Well, thank you very much indeed, said the Fairy Queen. Your musical box certainly made our party a great success. It was so kind of you to lend it to me. Oh, Emma lent it, we didn't, said Braces, and he told the Queen all about the little girl and how they had woken her up to ask about the musical box. She really is very kind to us. Well, it was very kind of her, said the Fairy Queen. I must send a letter to thank her. And, taking out a tiny sheet of paper and a beautiful silver pen, she wrote a little letter and tucked it under Brace's belt. She said goodbye and wished them all a Merry Christmas. Then she drove away in her golden carriage with the Fairy King by her side. The toys stood and waved until the Queen's carriage had disappeared into the distance. All the fairies, except for the little pixie, had left with her. I must go too, said the pixie, and you must go home. Thank you so much for helping us. And with that she flew away after the Fairy Queen. Merry Christmas, cried the toys after her. Come and see us again soon. Look at that carriage. When Emma woke up, she quite forgot at first that it was Christmas Day. All she could think about was how her toys had come to life the night before. She ran to the playroom to ask them about it, but they were all sitting very still and quiet. They could not move or speak now because it was daytime. Emma began to wonder if it had all been a dream. She went back to her bedroom and looked in her Christmas stocking. And what do you think she found? Right on the top of all her presents was a tiny letter written in the most perfect handwriting. Emma pulled it out and opened it, and it said, there you can see the little letter, and I'll read it to you. Dear Emma, thank you very much for lending us your lovely musical box. Will you please come to our next dance when the moon is full and bring your musical box again? The Fairy King said he would love to dance with you. Have a Merry Christmas. Love from the Fairy Queen. Well, Emma could hardly believe her eyes. Would she go? Of course she would. And the moon will soon be full again, so she won't have to wait too long. I hope you liked that one. Have a lovely day.